Meanwhile, hundreds of students at the University of Zimbabwe rallied on campus on Monday. They are protesting against President Robert Mugabe, who is also the Chancellor of the institution. They've urged him and his Vice Chancellor to relinquish their positions. They've also demanded the university rescind the honorary PhD it awarded to Grace Mugabe. And we can return now to Zimbabwe and to Farai Mwakutuya. He's standing by for us in Harare with the very latest. Farai, what's the latest on the ZANU-PF meetings today and the impeachment process?
Well, the caucus meetings went on into the night. They've just ended a short time ago. When I went there earlier, I met the chief whip of ZANU-PF, and he did confirm indeed that impeachment proceedings will begin. Now, a motion was filed in Parliament today by an opposition MP as well as an independent MP, Themba Mliswa, who used to be in ZANU-PF. That impeachment will be set to begin tomorrow when Parliament sits, and it is effectively to try and get President Robert Mugabe to step down. Now, this is ZANU-PF following through essentially on the pledge it made that if President Robert Mugabe does not step down by midday today, Monday, they were going to do this. So it looks set that this is now the route it's going, and it might well be a lengthy one, Beatrice.
Well, Farai, we do understand impeachment can be either very short, 48 hours, or a long, drawn-out process. What do you know about that? How long would it take exactly?
Well, there's no telling indeed. This is very uncharted territory for Zimbabwe. It's the first time it's been done here. I've spoken to the chief whip of ZANU-PF. I've spoken to the chief whip of the opposition MDCT. Both of them sort of saying that this is something they've never done before. They need to come up with new standing rules and regulations to govern it and procedures that will govern this whole process. On the ZANU-PF side, there are people who've been quoted saying they want to push it through within 48 hours. And it's understandable because they have this agenda where they want to fast-track the removal of President Robert Mugabe, hopefully ahead of the Congress that is due next month, so they can go about the business of reinstating former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa and installing him as President Robert Mugabe's successor. Whether or not the MDC will support the impeachment is still something that is under debate now. They're still to come up with a final position on that. So we're not clear how long it will take. There is obviously a need to a desire to speed it up, but practically if that will happen, we'll wait to see when the process starts tomorrow, Beatrice.
Well, Farai, and of course on Sunday night it was expected that President Mugabe was going to be reading a resignation speech, but all this talk about Mugabe reading the wrong speech on Sunday night. What's been the reaction to that? Well,
Zimbabweans, I think, typically saying, look, you know, they really didn't understand that speech. I think many people didn't understand it. What they were expecting was the president to come up and say, I've resigned, but instead he went into some of the policies he still plans to implement, amongst many other things. So people were very disappointed, a bit of an anti-climax. And now there is a sense that some people are getting that, look, it may not be that difficult to remove this icon of President Robert Mugabe, this person who's been in power for 37 years. It may not be that easy. That's the sense that people are getting here. But I must also mention very quickly that we were expecting an update from the military. It hadn't happened by this evening, but I can tell you that they've called a press conference within this hour. So we are expecting that the military will give us an update, hopefully on the ongoing negotiations that they've been making with President Robert Mugabe, and hopefully we'll get a clearer picture on the way forward to this, you know, completely perplexing, unprecedented crisis in Zimbabwe, Beatrice.
Right, Farai Mwakutuya for us there in Harare.